in the meantime, in between time, as they used to say. So that's appropriate since it's a TV theme song Thursday.
That's right.
That's right.
Chris, right off the top of your head, all-time favorite TV show. Just right off the top of your head. Come on. You shouldn't have to think about it. What are you thinking about?
That's a tough one, man.
No, it ain't. Oh, just off the top of your head. That's a tough one.
I mean, I love the Cosby. I know he might be persona non grata to some people now, but the Cosby Show was just
okay. So fantastic. You loved it, at that time with the
fantastic show.
I always loved the history of the Cosby Show because NBC was the third choice. They went to CBS and they said, I don't think anybody's going to buy a black doctor.
I didn't know that.
You know, they went to CBS first, I think, and then ABC, and NBC was the last stop. And that went on to be one of the all-time shows.
Right. Absolutely. And yours is Golden Girls, right?
The Odd Couple and Golden Girls. It's a toss-up. It really is. I love them both. I'll say the Golden Girls and then the Odd Couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob
I got to make a pick. Rob G, off the top of your head.
Love is Blind?
Top of your head, Rob G. Who you got? Your all-time greatest show. Just off the top of your head.
All-time greatest show.
TV show, just your favorite. Off the top of your head.
Sitcom or TV show?
TV show.
Sitcom.
Oh, you go
sitcom? Fresh Prince.
Okay. Alex.
Wow. Okay.
Is Alex listening or no? TV show. Sitcom. All time.
Dance Fever.
I'd have to say Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's up there.
Come on, that's a great
You know what was a great show? And Alex and Rob G, you might not know about this. Rob, I used to love
what show?
The White Shadow.
Yes.
Never seen it.
It was only on for about 3 years.
Yeah, but it was a cult kind of following.
It was. I mean, it was about a basketball team in LA, high school basketball team. White coach who used to play in the NBA. That's why it was the White Shadow. And people thought that was racist at some point, right? When they started thinking, oh, he's looking over.
That's got to be racist.
I didn't think the show was.
I didn't either.
I just liked the show.
You had a black principal.
Right.
A black. The two people over the coach were black. It was that black male. I don't know
and the female, right?
And the female was I don't know if she was the principal and he was the school district.
She was like the advisor or something, right? With the grades or something.
Yeah. But they were over the head coach. So, yeah, but I thought it was great. I was in 3rd or 4th grade, so maybe it wasn't as good as I thought.
Chris, right. No, it's not that great as far as watching it back.
I bought the
DVD,
the series, and I still liked it.
Let me say one last thing, and then we'll move on this TV theme song Thursday. So I think I've mentioned to you before, Perry Mason, which I've seen every episode 1,000,000 times.
Yep.
But there's an episode where Perry Mason is doing a trial, and the judge is black. Like Steve DeSager, are you listening? The judge, Chris, is black on Perry Mason in the 50s. You know what I mean?
Are you sure that wasn't the guy sitting next to the judge being questioned?
No. It was the judge. Steve, you know what I'm going to tell you, though, right? Steve, you know what I'm talking about, the episode?
Not the specific episode, but I know Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. It was notable that they had black actors in some of their stories.
Right, and during that time. Yeah. And so this is the only thing.
That was a good show, too, the Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm. But this was the only thing that's crazy. Now, you know a judge he had no lines. So he sat as the judge, so when when a attorney has objection overruled. He has no lines in the show.
In other words, the
whole thing
actor.
in the courtrooms?
Yes.
Wow.
Steve.
So he couldn't get his union card. That black actor. He had no lines.
He didn't get any credit.
Wow.
He didn't get credit.
Oh, really?
He doesn't get credit because he had no lines. Yes.
Wow.
So I'm just like, wow, this is progressive. But he doesn't have any lines. And then I always say, like, the Three Stooges, I mean, not the Three Stooges, Little Rascals, the black actors have lines, storylines written for them. And this is the 20s and 30s, Chris.
Yeah, part of the game.
That was one of my favorite shows as a kid, The Little Rascals. I loved The Little Rascals.
And they never made Stymie or Buckwheat. You show me the episode where they made them like they were outcasts or anything.
They
Never.
were outcast. I mean, Buckwheat was kind of just the Buckwheat character.
No, but I'm saying, Chris,
but no, they never were
treated.
outcast.
They never treated.
No, they were all
them.
the same. I mean, at least from what I
They were
remember.
all poor, right?
Yeah,
Poor kids in the South somewhere, but they never.
I mean,
treated them.
Stymie was always dressed up, if I remember.
He had a derby on.
So you could look at Buckwheat and say, "Yo, Buckwheat, you heard of a pick? Anybody want to comb that brother's hair? A little Ultra Sheen or something, right?" But then you also, Rob, had Stymie, who was always, like you said, in a derby. And what I remember, he was in a suit.
Right.
But he in a little suit or something.
But the story centered around them sometimes.
Yeah,
the black characters.
they were. I mean, again, I was a little kid. I loved it. I don't remember, anything.
Well,
but again,
them,
that's why you don't see it anymore. I mean, that was a long time ago, but still, I remember, Rob, when they took it off the air, right? Because they said it was racist. I
haven't seen it on TV in a long time, but anyway.
Yeah.
All
right. But this is interesting. Do you need Rob G to kind of Rob G summarize what's going on with Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Luc Longley?
Oh, there's a lot going on, guys, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this one.
Speaking about old teams that nobody wants to watch anymore.
Well,
I'm sorry,
as you guys know, The Last Dance came out during the pandemic, and
it was excellent.
The only guy
it was tremendous.
who came out looking
saved
good
America during the
was
pandemic.
Michael Jordan. And we recall it was great for our content purposes.
Oh, man.
But if you recall, even then, none of his former teammates liked it. And they were very vocal about it.
Well, we knew Pippen, but I mean, you didn't know as much about the other.
I mean,
Horace,
they weren't writing books like Scotty was, but they were saying in interviews and tweets and such that there was a lot of hagiography going on with that Last Dance. Well, now Scottie Pippen, Luc Longley, Horace Grant are telling their side of the story in an upcoming speaking engagement tour in Australia.
Oh yeah, that's the right place for them.
No, they knew where to go.
Exactly.
Because Longley's from there, so he's going to draw people.
Right,
It kicks off tomorrow night in Tasmania. It's called the No Bull Tour, where they will share their thoughts on what Horace Grant calls a BS documentary and tell their side of the story on The Last Dance.
They had two options. They could have gone to hell or to Australia. And I think they went to Australia. Chris.
I'm leaving that alone. But they're going to Australia. I mean, look, I don't know that would fly. Is anybody going to see that in America?
No.
I mean, really. What are you going to sit there and badmouth Michael Jordan and you think somebody. Now, again, Australia, because Longley's from there.
Longley, right.
That was smart. But you do that in America, and obviously Jordan's huge all over the world. But Rob, and I get it. I don't know. I wasn't there, right? We don't know. I'm sure there's some truth to what they're saying. But people aren't really trying to hear you just badmouth Michael Jordan. I mean, I'm sorry. That's the status he's reached, right? He's like mythical status almost.
I agree. But here's the problem I have with Scottie Pippen being involved. He was on the documentary, Chris. He sat down.
Wasn't Grant? I thought
Grant might have. Yeah, they could have pushed back.
Scotty saw it before it was released,
right?
And gave it the okay.
And then he goes like, "Oh, well, I didn't get paid, dude. You could have said when they sat you down, what's my cut? What am I getting for doing this? Oh, you're not getting paid. Well, then I'm not doing it. Do it without me.
Right?
Okay,
right.
Do it without me." And it's not the same if Scottie Pippen wasn't in it. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. No, they needed. I mean,
they needed Scottie Pippen
to talk.
And
they could have done it.
Luc Longley, sit down. Nobody cares about what you have to say. I don't care if it's in Australia. And Horace Grant, you're right, Chris. I think Horace was in it too.
I think so.
You should have spoke out then. I don't even understand what this is about.
I mean, Longley needs to thank his lucky stars that he was on the team with Michael. And to be honest, they all do. And I'm not trying to say it's a team sport. Those guys played their roles, especially Pippen. Pippen is an all-time great. They did help Michael Jordan win his championship.
There's no doubt about it, Chris.
Nobody's saying.
But the bash Michael
he was a
Jordan,
superstar, but
really?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, and look, Rob, we know Jordan was tough. I mean, no, they don't shy away from that. And you and I covered him when he was in Washington at the end. And all these teammates who looked up to him probably had his poster on their walls, certainly wore his sneakers. They couldn't stand him.
Don't you remember?
So Jordan was a hard teammate. There's no doubt. But I mean, it's almost like Belichick, Rob, and we talked a little bit about that last week. And Jordan, he wasn't as hard as Belichick. You know, like it wasn't that type. But still, like he got the results, and you got a great career and all of that out of it. Why are you trying to bash him now? And again, I don't think anybody's gonna give it the time of day anyway.
I agree. I just think, talk about what are you doing? Like, you were part of something special.
Yep.
He's a once in a lifetime kind of guy that came along. You happen to be a part of that, Chris. Just hold on to that memory. It's okay. We get it. Everything didn't happen the way that maybe it was portrayed. At least a couple of the guys got a chance to speak in it. They had a chance to push back if they wanted to. If they would have said some stuff about MJ or how it really went down. And now, if they said, "Oh, well, we did all that," and they cut it all out or whatever, maybe I'm listening to that. But to go on tour and start in Australia on this thing and bash Michael Jordan,
I think it's going to start and end in Australia.
Right? I just who else is paying for that? Really? In Australia?
I don't. It does feel like sour grapes. In part, also, Rob, because it's not only so far after The Last Dance aired, but obviously it's even further away from the time it actually happened. This is 30 years ago now, essentially. I mean, it is. People have made up their minds about Jordan, the Bulls, The Last Dance. And two role players in Scottie Pippen aren't changing that. I'm sorry. I mean, Pippen went on Rob, he was on every radio show and TV show, magazine articles telling his story. And
he wrote a book.
He wrote a book about it. People didn't even, give it much thought.
No, he made money off of it. He got a book. I think people are using it as a doorstop now, but still, he wrote a book.
Yeah.
Rob G, is this mean anything to you?
Yeah, does this interest you?
I'm
Kobe
so
guy.
full send into this right now.
Yeah, okay.
Because in like 25 years, when you guys are retired and they make the last dance
25 years.
on The Odd
The
Couple.
Last Dance for who?
On The Odd Couple.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Are you
and
going to rip us?
And it's probably going to be a Rob Parker production.
Rob going to be Luc Longley.
No, Rob's going to be Michael Jordan.
Puerto Rico. He's going to go to Puerto Rico
Rob's the
and
Michael
do a
Jordan
tour.
of The Last Dance. Because he will finance the production himself to make sure he gets final cut. And when that happens, I'm going to be Luc Longley in that situation. I'm going to feel like there's going to be like, Rob, I carried the show when I had to put it on my back there, especially at the end because, Rob G's taking days off.
Exactly.
Alex is at Whole Foods every commercial break.
Yes.
Chris ain't here. He's doing TV. I'm putting all the dirt out there in the other Last Dance.
I think Rob G does feel like he's got a book.
He does
totally
feel like
do.
he got at least some speeches.
Yes.
He got at least some.
But
speeches
if it's
on
not
The
a
Odd
full
Couple.
book, it's like the E Hollywood story.
But would it be about us?
Yes. I told you, I gave you fair warning. Whenever things go sideways and they make the documentary about what went wrong.
Right.
Remember that time we had that fight in the parking lot,
sources close to the situation. I'm the sources. Every time. I'm telling you right now, I'll never put my name on it, but I'll be sources close to the situation.
I think this thing is so ill-timed and ill thought out. I just what are they doing, Chris? Seriously.
It's almost comical. Where'd you see it, Raji? I didn't even see it.
Oh, yeah. It's all around. I saw it.
Is it all over?
It's out there.
Okay.
What is it? The No BS tour or whatever? Yeah. Just ridiculous.
I don't know. It just, it doesn't, it's not a good look. Maybe they need some, I hope they don't need money, but it's not a good look.